beans work again. Hey guys. I have a secret surprise. I don't know if this is this set up? Most of my redeems are off because thanks. Thank you. Alright, here we go. Let me set up my water. Yeah, most of my redeems are off because I wanted. I'll just shut up. I'll just shut up, I guess. No, that's fine. No, that's fine. Yeah, then no, that's fine. Anyways, this is my working office lady model, so I figured I'd use it at least once. Oh, you know what's funny? I'm doing a drawing stream. I don't even have my tablet plugged in yet. Oh. I do this thing where I try to set up like a million things like 5 minutes before stream. Right here. Mouse. True. I could. MS Paint stream. Also, okay, hold on. I'm not saying hi to Broken because I know he's been here since like an hour ago. Hello, Suna. Hello, Liam. Hello, Lush. Hello, Airwef. Just one of those days where I don't want to wake up. Everything is fucked. Okay, let me finish my pasta. I've been streaming for like 2 years and I still forget to change my title. That's rare. Office lady vibes off the chart. Thanks. I've had this model forever but never used it. I was like, you know what? I should just start using all the models I have whenever I feel like it, instead of keeping them collecting dust. Bakshin! I was thinking of doing Uma Musume on the side while I work. The very first Zell model. Dude, I have so much nostalgia for that model. Oh. I still love Baby Zell. Wait, which first one? Like the very first customized one or the first one? No, I'm saying. The one with the cat ears? Okay. Yeah, that one was really good. I should use that one for April Fools. I mean, like, I'm rebranding and it's my very first model. Anyways, how's y'all's? How's y'all's mornings / afternoon / evening / night? Well, I set up still. I just bought a bunch of shit from IKEA and I have to pick it up tomorrow. I was gonna bake a cake today, but it's too hot. Yeah, that's fair. What kind of cake? I want cake. I want cakey too. Yeah, I need. Where's my tablet? Wait. I'm gonna go turn my other light on. Okay. How do I set this up? Strawberry cheesecake? You could do a no bake. You can do a no bake cheesecake, can't you? Technically. I don't know if that's better or I don't know what's the difference. Why do you have to bake a cheesecake? Go in the hole. Whatever liquid sound that was reminded me of the curse sound none of us expected like to pick up. I'd have to. Oh, I see. You'd have to go outside. I thought it was because the oven would also be hot. But yeah, that's fair. Here, I'll just like DoorDash that shit. Or what's it called? Is it DoorDash? Don't make me say it. Wait, what? I'm so confused. Huh? Okay. I'm switching. I'm not actually working on this. But it's open. Is my pen picking up? Oh, that's fun. Okay, so my tablet's not picking up and my pen is also not picking up. Is my pen dead? Is my pen dead? Uh-oh, guys. We might have to Umamusume first. Pen? Oh, pen is dead. Alright. It's time for Umamusume first. My bad, guys. That's okay. We'll do a couple races. How can you be Aerith? I don't know the lore, okay? Can Omegas not switch? No. Huh? What's happening? Ride. The second I opened Umamusume, it's like, horse addiction is real. Ryan? Okay, where's the game page? Game! Hold on, guys. There it is. Bum, 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 banana. Okay. I'm not even gonna change the. This is art. This game is art. I'm keeping us in the art page. Goo Goo Baby. I just want to play Goo Goo Babies, okay? I switched all my people. I didn't know that they showed up in different screens. I was always so confused why it's like pick 4. I'm like, huh? Do they cycle? Alright, let's race. Who should we do? I just did Scarletto. She didn't make it though. I could try Gold Ship again. Gold Ship fucking hates me, I think. She's something. Winning ticket. We can try a winning ticket. We can try winning ticket. I've been alerted by the phrase Bau Bau. Vader! Oh my god. He's the horse girl. So true. Hello, angry death. Bau Bau. More accurate gold chip. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think I want to use Aghanos Tachyon. How you doing, Vader? By the way, it's been a long time. Are you also playing Horse Girl? Oodala. How is this game? It is fun. It's fun. I suck ass, but I love racing my horse girls. Also, I've been okay. Just working a lot. Is it RNG? Well, it's gacha. So yeah, there's some RNG. Okay. We're gonna watch every concert. Every concert and sing along. Yeah, I love idols. The races, I mean. Yeah. I mean, they are RNG. But you have like... How do I explain this? It's like a roguelike. You have skills. But yeah. I guess they are RNG. Dude, I don't know anything, okay? I'm the worst at this. If you want horse girl knowledge, you gotta ask Broken. He's working right now, but if you ping him, I'm sure he'll explain everything to you. He's way better than me. I simply go stats. Give me stats. There's guides. I just don't look at them. I told myself I wasn't gonna min-max this particular gacha because every other gacha I've played I min-maxed to the point where I just ended up hating the game at the end. So I don't want to do that. What's in the cup? Coffee! Of course it's coffee. Smile. I'll do it again. My energy. It's like nothing. I love how winning ticket is always crying. Just like me, for real. It. A good bit. Oh! This could go horribly wrong, or... I don't know, Mecha. Please be good. Fuck! Oh, the Gamba, dude. Practice perfect. You know what that means? We fail. That's a practice perfect. Why? okay. It was practice oh, okay, recreation. I'm so sad. When it's practice perfect, I'm like, okay, we can get away with like under 50%, surely, and then it immediately fails every single time. What are you? You're late. Oh, you're specifically late. I'll take the cheap ones. Oops. Yay! Yay! I'll show an actual race on the next race, just not the debut race. I'll show the hopeful stakes. Do not be yawning. Get to work. It's the same amount. I think this horse might actually need stamina. Did I already spend? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I hate this fucking support card thing, dude. It's so sad. I'm almost at pity. Just for one Kita-san. At this point, it doesn't even matter, but I want it out of spite now. All those Fs are good, right? Yeah, actually. You start at G, so F is better. Is better than G. I'm gonna gamble. We lost. Oh. Okay. Okay, mood up. I need to do a race. Guys, want to watch this race? We'll watch this race. I'll see what I need to improve based on how this race goes. Number one favorite, so... Yeah, how this goes. Here we go. Okay. Don't worry, guys. We're supposed to be in the back. She's gonna zoom to the front in the last stretch. I only have 2 skills. That's not that exciting. Oh, we fishing. I don't know why my fish tits don't work. Who are you? What did you do, Zell? I'm in the office universe today. Nice mackerel. Heat vision mackerel. Hi, Rex. Sorry, I had to go into work today. Rex, why are you hovering? Oh, I put a little ramp there. That's what that is. Okay, she's still in the back. There she goes! Yo! Easy. Winning ticket. Good job. Right shower, we will avenge you. Dude, I've tried so hard to get my rice shower good, but she's so fucking sad. She gets upset every time. Did I win money? Last time I played this, we were doing bets. So technically you could. Just like me for real. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Imagine if I failed at 1%.
True and yeah, that's pretty true. That's true and yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's fucking true.
That's just how it is, dude.
That's how it is, dude.
Look at all them. Oh, we can do one more race. Is the director also a horse? I know that the lady in green is that the director? And she like hides her ears. You did great. Peace, peace. The blonde lady with the cat on her hat. I don't think she is. I think it's just the like stable lady in green, and then the one with the hat is human, and the other one is human. I think. I don't know. I don't know the deep lore yet. Maybe that. Okay, hopeful stakes. Human? People when I knock on my door at 2 AM. That's also how I answer my door to suspicious visitors. Human? G1! Hopeful stakes! I hope it's ribeye. Have y'all ever had horse meat? Just curious. Just curious. I'm talking about steak. Sakuraniko is actually not on. What's Sakuraniko? Huh? Wait, is that horse meat? Oh, interesting. New story about there being horse meat in IKEA meatballs? Guess I love horse meat. I don't remember that. It kind of makes sense though. Horses are technically livestock. If you can eat a cow, why can't you eat a horse? Damn, I'm as hungry as a horse. I'm so hungry I could. If that's the case, I love them. Exactly. The meatballs bomb as hell. Winning ticket. I'm gonna need you to be the winning ticket, please. Personally, don't care that much. It's like meat. Problem with it is it'd be more tough because horses are raised as labor animals. Yeah, that's true. I was thinking more like if you have like a farm and you just have like horses the same way that you would have cows. Second's pretty good. The same way you would have cows, like instead of using them as a workhorse, you just let them like live, and then when they die, carve them up. They kind of live a long time though, so I guess it doesn't really, from a profitable standpoint and from like a sustenance standpoint, it doesn't really make any sense. You're slicing it thin like you normally have in Asia. The meat being tough doesn't even matter that much. True. Also, I guess also preparation, because there's tough meat that if you prepare it the right way, it's not tough, right? It's nummy. I don't know anything. I should stop talking about horse meat. Oh, let's do a marathon. I forgot it's fucking Yaoi Saturday. I keep forgetting. Oh, I can't wait. Are you hungry today? I'm gonna be so real with you. I've been eating like less than 1,000 calories a day. So I'm always hungry now. And I'm more hungry on weekends because I'm like, I'm just gonna eat anything I want. Don't imagine preparation of horse being too different from beef or venison. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Really very similar. I have to see the city. I have this thing. Okay. I have this thing. Maybe it's part of my like ADHD, but if I have a task, because I do a lot of work now. If I have a task, I don't want to like stray my mind from what I'm doing. So instead of eating at work, if I eat at work, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to go back into my focus mode. I'm just gonna not eat so that I can focus. And then I go home and I eat. But then by the time I get home, I'm so tired that I'm not that hungry. So I'm just like barely eating. It's fine though. If you go to the butcher, you can point to parts of your own body. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna try that sometime. Distracted and you forget to eat. Yeah. Well, it's less that I forget now. I'm actively not eating because I want to be productive. Okay. People die when they don't eat. People also die when they get old. What's your point? Just kidding. I know your point. I eat. I'm still alive. Trust me, I've got lots of reserves. I'll be fine. I can't tell if this horse is doing well or not. What? We're barely through. We're barely through the career run. Oh, okay. Ooh. I got so caught up in the horse meat conversation that I don't know what's happening. This is an A. No, it's not. There's no way. There's no way she's getting A. I know an A. By the time we get to the second race, I can tell if it's gonna be an A or not. This is like a C+ at best. This is a mess. Thanks, Broku. Hey guys, did you know it's Broku's birthday on Monday? Happy birthday! I'm gonna say it every time. Happy birthday! Please go follow him if you haven't already. He's streaming next week. Hi, Kel! Kel next Hedge. What should we get? Oh wait, yes. Race time. I promise I'll be doing art soon. My pen is charging. Number 8? Okay, I kind of want to watch soon. I don't want to work. I just want to Bau Bau. This is what Bau Bau means. I want this horse. The short hair. So cute. I also can't wait to be able to pull for horses again instead of cards. I bet my house on this race. She'll win. It's fine. She's 10th already. And she's a late surger. She's fine. I love looking at the horses and being like, oh yeah, that's a nobody horse. Based on their outfit. Like, who's you? Nobody. I don't care about being good, so I just pull for more horses. That's fair. I'm waiting for the next banner because I don't really— Whoa! I don't really care about the outfit ones. That's not gonna do anything. Where is it? That's not good. He's very upset. I'm homeless. Yeah. Oh wait, was it 5th or 3rd? Hog! We pass! Yay! She still made it somehow. Okay, race time. Another race. Go lurk now while I pack. Okay! Good luck packing. Thank you for lurking. Hope you enjoyed the horse race. Who's going in? Rice shower! Oh, her cap is so big. Yo! Am I gonna cock block her again? Oh my god! I'm so sorry, Rachel. That's crazy. She was in such a lead. Yay! Thank you, thank you. Fries. Peace, peace. Peace and love, peace and love. You can rest now. Race time. What weather is this? It's raining again. Okay, I'm getting the rainy one because she seems to run in rain a lot. Good luck. Number 9. I knew she was gonna be at the back, but damn. Oh wait! Never mind. I take it back. She heard me talking shit. Yo! Turn. Ooh! Rudolph, I think Rudolph still. I think Rudolph snatched it. Oh, no, we did get third. It looked like Rudolph was ahead of us. Interesting. Hmm. Oh, it was top 5 too. Hold on. I'll take it. She's a horse. To answer your question, that one's a horse. Secret haunts. Ooh. Outclass. Hold on. 74. Fuck it. We're gonna try. We try. Winning ticket. I do. Late surgers are so satisfying when they actually do what they're supposed to do. I do love watching them live. Okay, I'll take 4. Good job. 3,000, not bad. Beat time! Man. You guys go again. Boost my mood while I can. Man! That rainbow training. Why did it have to be right away? So sad. That's so sad. Chat, this is so sad. Can I get 5 big booms? Oh my god! Why now? You're gonna fail. I hate this game, dude. Brother. Why did your wit go down? Oh. Fuck it, you get to have an awful moon. Suda. Does that pen charge? Yeah, it should be charged. Yeah, this run's about to end. Ay, dude. God, I don't even have enough skill points. What's the prediction here? Okay. I'm gonna do this. Give myself a bit of a chance. Should I just end it? Should I just not even waste my clocks? I don't think I'm gonna waste my clock. I'm gonna end it. I don't think she has a chance. Sorry, winning ticket. You lose your ticket today. Usually I would try, but I genuinely don't think she has a chance. I don't think she had a chance. First. Ooh. Okay, I'll take D. I'll take the upgrade, even though she lost. She's not even in here. Never mind. See, this fucking goal sheet is tainting my team because I can't get her past D+. She keeps fucking with me. She's like, restricted training, mood down. Fail, fail, fail. 11th place, 16th place, 3rd place. It's like, why? Why do this to me? I'm trying to give you the best. I just want to play Google Baby. This is so amazing, however. That's it. Hold on. Club activity, club activity. Can't forget my shoe contribution. Anybody else? Someone actually said words in here? That's crazy. Gimme. I wish more people posted so I could get the point. Maybe I should make my own club. Okay, it's time. Wait, there's a new title? What's my new title? Oh, I like steamy memories. Oh, that's cute. Oh. Cool, okay. It does work, I guess. Goodbye, Umamu. Time. So, what do I do? What I wanted to do today was doodle. I want to make a new outfit. Hebe inspired me to make a new outfit. Pen? Am I fucking crazy? Also, I swear I set this up already. What's happening? If it's not one thing, it's something else. I swear, dude. Okay, let me restart my clip studio. What I thought. Why did I just make it straight? Hi. Oh fuck. Stay straight, okay? Hello. Hello, Ben. Welcome in. Dinner's ready. Why does this seem so... How are y'all? How are you? I'm supposed to ask that, right? Too top heavy. That's a good enough base. Oh, did I don't remember if I did my hydrate redeem. What did I know? So I need to grab my phone. Okay. What am I working on? I don't know. I just feel like doodling outfits. I know I'm supposed to work on my model, but I don't know. I mean rough, you know, model. Rocks. The shit out of me. Thank you for following. AJ with Dino Train. Dino Train? Thank you for following. I hate his eyes. There's something about them I fucking hate. I just hate them. Problem. Let me just turn this off. Oh, wrong way. cheaper. New model. Yeah, we business today. Business only. Huh? Business. Only business. I'm not working again. How come it just decides it doesn't want to work? Why? I don't understand. No, whatever. Oon! Hi, Oon. Shout out Oon, please. Thank you. You can tell by the title it's business time. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my tits, dude. They work for a little bit and then they just stop working. So weird. I wanted to do... Thank you, Keeper. It specifically doesn't work with the check-in. Like, it did in the beginning, the first, like, 5 check-ins. Now it doesn't work. It's so bizarre. Okay, I wanted to do... What I wanted to do? Oh. First of all. That's one of the other outfits I want to do. Fish. Should do a different color actually, so that I can see. Catch me dinner. It's a traffic cone. Yummy. Plastic. Love that fish. The traffic cone. You know I gotta. You know I gotta do the twin tail. Oh, what was I saying? Yeah, I wanted to do like a cutesy. I have a few outfit ideas. I'm just like, I feel bad about putting them, like drawing them, because I'm like, ugh, I gotta finish my main. But I think I should just draw kind of therapeutic and get the idea out. And then I can come back to it. I don't know if I want this or just some big old balls. I think I just want some big old balls. So behind. That's okay. Is this your Miku model? Miku! Should I make a Miku model? So true. I should have a Miku model. I want to do something cute. I want to. Okay. I might just put like a bunch of stickers on here or something. I don't know what to do. Final form. Yeah, I'm gonna go totally green. I'm gonna start. My voice is gonna turn into a synthesizer. Synthesizer. I will become my final form. There's bags under the eyes. No, I didn't realize that, but by default, I always just draw my eyes with eye bags. Life imitates art. Or something. Wish me luck, gonna search for bean boozles. Good luck. Yeah, get your shit ready, dog. Do I want a forehead? Forehead Joanne. Change it to a crescent orange. What do you mean wrong? Oh, shout out. Thank you. I was like, wait, what? What do you mean wrong? I'm just turning myself into sauna. I just realized that. I was like, wait, this halo thing seems familiar, and I'm like, wait, the hair baubles seem familiar. Oh my god, dude. Derail. I do want my antenna though. I don't want to be sauna. Okay, maybe not the hair bubble. I want the hair bubble. Whatever, you know what? I love sauna. I don't care. What else? Get auto-modded every single time. It's not gonna never. That's gonna crack me up every single fucking time. Sorry. The auto-mod is crazy. How dare you? How dare you? Oh, now it will. I think it doesn't like the word ass. Maybe try the F one. maybe it's okay with that. Ass. Twitch would ban me if I wrote that one. Oh. Oops. You never know. Do it.
FBI, open up!
Thank you, Lush. Thank you for gifting Keeper. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you. Happy birthday. What else do I even associate with myself? A pretzel! Oh my god, you're so right. I don't know how to draw a pretzel. The star is way too big. Alright, so oh thank you, actually. It's like this. Oh shit, it is like it's like a heart. Wait, I draw a heart. Oh my god, a pretzel is just a heart. Pretzel's just a heart. To do a burb. You step out. I also want like I know I have the uppy ear. I kind of want antennae. I think I want antennae. Go back to blue. I want to do a headband. Burb. Maybe. Alright, dumb. I'm kind of not fucking with this playlist, quote unquote, because it's not really a playlist. Where's my? Ah, here's a good one. so chill though. Yeah, but it's too repetitive. I like the one that has more than just 2 songs. Maybe I just want these ones. Yeah. I can do a spring like this. Yeah. What if instead of a headband, it was like... Oh, I don't know how that would work though. I was thinking of those like handkerchief cloth things. I don't think that works though, 'cause then my antenna's covered. I don't really have much else thought of this outfit. He'll come back. Some point, maybe. I want to have a bag that has like a ton of charms on it. What kind of bag though? Fish bag? Maybe fish bag. Fish bag or petri dish? Foot. This is literally me embracing that stupid post that's like, just make it first. It could be good later or whatever. That I've been seeing for like the last month. Charms I want. DNA. Can you tell us DNA? Carabiner. Carabiner. The fish attached to it, maybe? I just want this thing to be like full of fucking jingly charms. Kind of hard to actually draw that though. I wanted... Ooh, that's what I wanted. Who are you? Hi, I'm Zell. Who are you? What an entrance question. Who are you? Everybody introduce yourself. I'm trying to put a cow here. I don't think it translates. This is a cow. Cow getting sucked up. To do for that. Should I work on my actual rough shit? pain. Pickle. I'm browsing. I feel like I'm more inspired when I'm not thinking about having to draw Zell. There's something about trying to like find things that are very me where I'm like, I can't think of anything. I have no identity. I should probably just do some like or design practice things. Just draw whoever, whatever. You know what? I might just doodle. I feel like just doodling. I'm gonna just doodle my brain out. I'm just gonna do whatever. Color. I think I still want blue. My tablet. Oh, you know what we can do? I kind of want to do, I want to listen to some, like, short story things or something while I do this. Instead of having my relaxing music. Short horror story or something? Let's see. What can we do? True horror stories? 3 hours of night shift horror stories. What kind of psychopath is listening to horror stories on the evening shift alone? Oh, it's about night shift. I was like, that's insane!
I used to work for a small startup company. I'm not even really sure what they did, because I was just a security person. But I always thought it was a little strange that they even felt they needed a security guard. The office was really small and looked somewhat unimportant, like any other office. It made my job easy though, because I didn't have to parade around multiple floors all night. I got in at 9 and turned on the security alarm systems, then headed to the little security room that had all the camera screens set up. The place only had outdoor cameras, which were really low quality. The first couple hours went by slowly, with the usual nothing going on. Sometime around 1 a.m. though, I heard what sounded like a latch clicking shut. I sat there confused for a moment, then stood up and opened the door to the hallway. Everything looked exactly how I'd left it. There were only 3 doors down the hallway, and each one was closed. I walked over to each door, opening them, and briefly looking around. The rooms were layered with a bunch of office desks, but from what I could see, it was all normal. By now, it had been long enough for me to start wondering if the sound I heard was actually what I thought it was. Maybe I just didn't hear it right. After all, the security systems should have triggered an alarm if someone had opened one of the main doors to get inside. So I went back to the room, this time leaving the door open to the hallway, so if I heard it again, it'd be more clear. Then I sat back and continued monitoring the cameras. I checked the footage from the previous few minutes, just to see if I missed anything, but I didn't see anything at all. No movement outside the building. Another 20 minutes passed. I think by then, I'd pretty much came to terms that whatever I heard was nothing, as I was back to not paying as much attention. Then, a sound echoed down the hallway. It was faint. A door, opening slowly. I jumped up from my chair and walked into the hallway, not believing what I heard. I immediately saw one of the doors was cracked open. Knowing that none of the alarms went off and nothing had showed up on the cameras, I was extremely confused. I was sure that nobody could be in here. I crept over and opened the door a little further, revealing the dark office room. I took a few steps inside, but didn't hear or see anything, so I started to walk further in, going past each office desk. Then, as I got to the back of the room, I saw the slightest movement on one of the walls, like a shadow or something, before I turned my head and instantly locked eyes with a person crouched underneath one of the desks. It was a man with black hair and large dark circles under his eyes. He had a look of both fear and anger, like he was both mad and worried that I'd found him. The instant we saw each other though, he started getting up. I had no idea if he had any kind of weapons on him, so I took no chances and started running for my life. I went into the hallway and out the front doors, which triggered the security alarms and automatically notified the police. I went a safe distance away, then tried to watch the front doors as I waited for the officers to show up. It only took about 30 seconds before the door swung open and the man came running out. He ran around to the other side of the building, and from there I lost sight of him. When officers got there, we downloaded the footage from the whole night, but nowhere in it did we see the man enter the building, so we don't know when or even how they got in. Obviously, the other question is why they broke in. After discussing it with the company, they said they knew nothing about it and didn't find anything missing. I have a hunch that they might have known more than they let on though. Hiring security for their tiny office isn't normal unless you have a reason to. I think it might have actually been an old employee that they knew was a little unhinged. Anyway, I stayed there for another few months, then called it quits for a better job. I never found out anything else about what happened that night.
This story sucks. Yeah, anyway.
This was during our school's winter break. It was the day after Christmas, and I had a part-time job at our town's pizza shop. This place was pretty popular, and it felt like pretty much every kid at my school also worked there. Being so young though, every paycheck made me feel like I was rich, so I always agreed to work whenever they needed me. I thought it wouldn't be that busy this day, because everyone would be staying home with their families still, but I couldn't have been more wrong. Around dinner time, all the indoor seats were taken up, and we were getting tons of delivery orders. My job was to greet and seat people, or do deliveries if needed. Around 8, my manager told me to start taking deliveries. I did a quick one, then picked up—
You had your chance. You had your chance, brother. Unfortunately. You guys want to listen to murder docs? Murder doc. True crime. That's what they're called, right? True crime fucking podcast fucking whatever. The fuck it is. Tylenol? What the hell's this?
It started with something small. A cough, a headache, a restless
Time
night.
to get traumatized.
In homes
with taking
across suburban
Tylenol.
Chicago, people reached for relief in something they trusted. A red and white bottle in a medicine cabinet. The kind you've opened 100 times before. The kind you don't even think about. And they took one capsule, maybe two. And then they collapsed, without warning and without reason. And by the time investigators realized what was happening, the damage was already done. And families were shattered, and entire communities were on edge. And behind it all was an invisible killer hiding in plain sight. This wasn't a spree of gunshots or blood-stained crime scenes. This was something even more terrifying. An unseen, silent, and lethal crime. A crime that snuck its way into the heart of American consumer trust and shattered it overnight. The story you're about to hear is about a nation forced to confront a horrifying question. What if the danger isn't outside your house? What if the danger isn't outside your door, but already inside your home? This is a story of the Tylenol murders. Crime, conspiracy, cults, serial killers, and murder. All things that I love to consume, and I know you do too, you sick, twisted, intellectually beautiful-minded person. That one was for you. And I have my trusted true crime buddy, Roopy Doopy Scoopy Loopy Poopy Poopy. He's sleeping. But today we're talking about one of the scariest cases, and scary because it's just something we use every day, something you would never expect. It's not a person, it's not a cult, it's not somebody coming in and stabbing you, although that is extremely terrifying, or shooting you. It is something unseen. So without further ado, let's unbuckle our seatbelts, go Mach 5 down the highway, slam on the brakes, and bust through this windshield into this insane, crazy, questionable case together. Remember that doctor's appointment you were supposed to make like 3 months ago? Maybe it was that annual overdue checkup that's been 3 years in the making. Or that dermatologist appointment for that weird spot that's been looking a little bit suspicious. Oh my God, I do need to go see a dermatologist. I don't know about you, but my entire feed has been filled with health experts telling me that cottage cheese is apparently an entire nutrition plan now, and that I should be chugging olive oil at 6 a.m. for some reason. So let's give the algorithm a rest and turn to actual healthcare professionals who know what they're talking about. And that's where ZocDoc comes in. And honestly, it's been a game changer for me.
I really wanted to give you a chance, but if we're starting immediately with the doctor's ad, I'm sorry. I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't. Canada True Crime?
You're watching Northern Crimes.
Is this AI? Oh! Please let me
Canada.
out. Okay, it's fine.
It's a land defined by contrasts. In the west, sweeping wilderness meets urban life, and in the plains and to the east, remote landscapes stretch beyond the modern cities. In these quiet forests and along the edges of small towns, mysteries endure, concealed by the isolation of the land itself. And even within Canada's bustling cities, shadows of the unknown persist, marking stories of lives lost or disrupted in ways that defy explanation. This is the true story of 5 unsolved cold cases from Canada. Welcome to Northern Crimes.
Canada real?
In the rugged wilderness of northern Saskatchewan,
it's more common than
2 Indigenous leaders vanished in the summer of 1967. James Brady and Abby Halkett were experienced outdoorsmen, setting off on what seemed to be a typical uranium prospecting trip. But
Uranium?
when they disappeared, what began as a search for 2 missing men turned into one of Canada's most puzzling cold cases.
I don't think I've ever heard this one.
James Jim Brady was a prominent Métis activist and a dedicated advocate for Indigenous self-governance. Known for his sharp intellect and unyielding principles, Brady's shelves were lined with books ranging from the Bible to the Communist Manifesto. His activism wasn't limited to words. In fact, in 1932, he co-founded the Association of the Métis of Alberta and the Northwest Territories. His influence reached far beyond his community, making him a respected and sometimes divisive figure. On the other hand, Abby Halkett was a band counselor of the Lac La Ronge Indian Band, admired for his empathy and steady leadership. His close ties to his community and his quiet strength earned him the trust of those around him. Together, Brady and Halkett symbolized both resilience and commitment to their people, fighting for a future where Indigenous communities could thrive. On June 7th, 1967, Brady and Halkett set out for their prospecting expedition. A small bush plane dropped them near Lower Foster Lake, though there were later concerns they may have been dropped at the wrong location. They set up camp by the lakeside, equipped with their gear, a canoe, and prospecting tools. Their arrival was confirmed via radio, and all appeared normal. But 9 days later, Barry Richards, who had coordinated the expedition, returned with more supplies. To his shock, the camp was deserted, the only sign of life being an undisturbed canoe tied to a birch tree. There were no footprints, personal items, or clues left behind, just an empty campsite, leaving behind an unsettling silence.
Strange Aeon's video about the dentist guy. Dentist guy? No, I don't know anything about that.
The RCMP initiated a search, but investigators were quick to consider the disappearance a likely accident, citing the remote terrain and possible dangers. Yet those who knew Brady and Halkett challenged this theory. Both men were seasoned in navigating the wild, and they wouldn't have become lost so easily. Local trackers who examined the site noted unusual details: a disturbed patch of moss, a mark indicating a boat had docked, and questioned why the canoe was tied to a birch tree, a tree known for its weak roots.
That's true.
Over time, family members, including Indigenous Studies professor Dr. Deanna Rader, took up the search. Using sonar technology, Rader located a quote anomaly on the lakebed, sparking hope that remains might be found. But even today, there has been no definitive confirmation, leaving the case shrouded in mystery. Theories about the men's disappearances are varied. Some speculate that Brady's outspoken political beliefs and activism made him a target. suspecting political adversaries might have sought to silence him. Others believe that a potential uranium discovery may have sparked a fatal betrayal, as rival prospectors could have coveted that find. There's even a more unconventional theory, suggesting UFO involvement. However, this theory is more often raised to highlight the lack of plausible explanations than an actual genuine belief in UFO activity. The mystery of James Brady and Abby Halkett's disappearance endures, leaving their families and communities with a sense of unresolved loss. For Indigenous communities in northern Saskatchewan, the case is more than a cold case. It's a story that symbolizes both resilience and the painful absence of justice. So as time passes, the search for answers continues, but for now, their fate remains unknown. In a quiet town in Alberta, a chilling discovery on a rural farm would haunt the local community and baffle investigators for decades. In April 1977, the remains of an unknown man were found submerged in a septic tank. Known only as Septic Tank Sam, his story remained a mystery for over 40 years until advances in forensic technology finally revealed his identity. Gordon "Gordy" Sanderson was a man whose life reflected the hardship faced by many Indigenous children during the 60s scoop. Born in Manitoba in 1950, Gordy was separated from his family at a young age and placed in foster care. Like many Indigenous children from the time, this marked him deeply. As an adult, he moved to Edmonton seeking a fresh start, but continued to struggle with addiction and brushes with the law. Gordy kept in touch with his family, and when he mentioned plans to visit his brother in Calgary, they expected to see him soon, but he never arrived. Years later, Gordy's body would be found under horrific circumstances, left on a farm near Tofield, Alberta. His sister, Joyce Sanderson's DNA, would ultimately identify him, restoring his name and offering his family a small measure of closure after decades of uncertainty.
I think so. It is kind of weird.
The horror of Gordy's murder was uncovered on April 13th, 1977, when a couple, inspecting their septic tank, stumbled upon his remains.
Oh my god, that's
Investigators
awful.
revealed that Gordy had been tortured, burned with a blowtorch, assaulted and shot multiple times, before being wrapped in a yellow bedsheet bound.
That's just fucking awful. Okay, I don't want true crime anymore. I want like weird shit, but not like horrific shit. Where was it posted? In X-Files? Oh. Okay, we can watch this one.
Hello friends, and welcome to another video. A few weeks ago, I saw this Tumblr post. Now, this is not a story about Tumblr. Not in the slightest. It's just that I get all of my best knowledge from Tumblr. So that's where this started. I came across this post. In 1892, a Canadian dentist called Edgar Parker had a traveling dental show named Painless Parker's Dental Circus. He extracted teeth while a band played to drown out the patient's screams.
What?
Painless Parker, born Edgar R.R. Parker, was a Canadian-born street dentist, described as a menace to the dignity of the profession by the American Dental Association. Man, you could just do stuff back then, huh? At one point, he claimed to have pulled 357 teeth in one day, which he wore on a necklace. He legally changed his first name to Painless when he was accused of breaking a false advertisement law by claiming that his dentistry was truly painless. Can you even call yourself a con artist if you're not legally changing your name to avoid false advertising laws? Well, the time came that I needed to research some new video topics, and I went to Google Painless Parker's Dental Circus. But the first thing that came up as I typed Painless Parker into Google was Painless Parker Bucket of Teeth.
Bucket of teeth. teeth.
Electrifying. Painless Parker did indeed have a bucket of teeth, all of which he pulled, which accompanied him to some of his street dentistry shows. It now lives at the Historical Dental Museum at Temple University, along with that necklace of 357 human teeth, which is also real. Here is a picture of him cheerfully wearing it in a magazine interview he did shortly before his death in the 1950s. Parker wrote an autobiography in the 1940s, and he says in the introduction that it's an edited version of the journals he kept his entire life, so it's accurate. He intended this autobiography to be just something for his descendants to keep to learn about him. That may be why it was never published in his lifetime. It was actually published in the 90s by another dentist named Peter Pronick, who was obsessed with Parker. Just obsessed. Like, decades-long special interest was all things Painless Parker related. Pronick even made YouTube videos about Painless Parker. Some of them are basically summaries of Parker's life. Some of them are uploads of news interviews that Pronick did about his book. Some of these videos almost border on fan cams. So Painless Parker's autobiography was published by Pronick under the title The Early Adventures of Painless Parker. And there is an obvious question as to how true this thing actually is, because obviously there's a lot of embellishing and self-mythologizing on the part of Parker. And then there's the editing that was done to it in the 90s. The editors give us no insight into how creative that process was. So there's the question of how much does this text resemble the original text that Parker wrote? And then on top of that, there's the question of how much does the original text that Parker wrote resemble reality? Is this a good source? I do, as a scholar, have my doubts about that. But regardless, it is a really good story, and today we are here to enjoy it. But before we get into it, a word from this video's sponsor. Have you got a musty old mattress that smells weird and has terrible back support? Well, I don't. Thanks to this video's sponsor, Helix. And that's right, I am coming to you live today from my very own Helix mattress. Helix makes premium mattresses and bedding customized to fit your unique needs and shipped conveniently straight to your door. Everyone's different and everyone sleeps differently, which is why Helix has their sleep quiz designed to match you with your perfect mattress based on your body type and sleep preferences. If you sleep with a partner, you can take the sleep quiz together and find something that's the perfect compromise for the two of you. Based on my results, Helix matched me with their Twilight Luxe mattress, this beautiful mattress right here. It is their firmest mattress. I do generally prefer a firmer mattress because of the scoliosis demons that live in my spine. Oh, baby boy. Yes. Hello, sir. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses to choose from, and they just launched a line of mattress toppers that help you customize your sleep experience even more. They've got the Dual Comfort mattress topper, which is a great option for couples with different preferences. The Ergo Align mattress topper, which is a great option for those with lower back pain looking for more support under their midsection. The Premium mattress topper and Premium Memory Foam mattress topper, which are both great options for sleepers who are looking for added pressure relief at their hips and shoulders. You can also customize the firmness of every single mattress topper, which I think is really cool. The mattress toppers are great.
I've given you enough. I've given you enough bad time. I've given you enough bad time. Bad time's over.
And cart and it fills it up with essentials of the day, home goods, coffee, sugar, almanacs, and basically sells that throughout rural villages. He excels wildly at peddling, and he has a great passion for it. He thinks he's a very gifted salesman, and he takes a lot of pride in that. I was so proud of having acquired a business of my own in only 3 short months that I decided to drive to St. John and show off my outfit to my father and mother. The peddler's outfit I drove up into the front of my parents' house in St. John was as showy as money could make it. I had bought a silver-mounted harness set with 2 black ostrich plumes waving from a special collar for my spirited black stallion. My wagon had been painted bright red with yellow stripes. On both sides of the wagon was my name lettered in gold. Edgar R. Parker. I wore a pearl gray hat with a tall crown and wide brim, a fancy green sequined vest, and fancier bright red silk tie. I had let my black hair grow long and sported a Van Dyke beard. Think of the picture I must have presented to my mother and father, and just imagine their surprise and reaction. This gaudily dressed horse peddler was a far cry from the son they had sent to St. Martin's Seminary to become a Baptist minister. My mother was so glad to see me that she hugged and repeatedly kissed me and pretended not to notice my garish appearance. Father was dumbfounded and said nothing. With his mouth open, he gawked in astonishment. As my father appeared to regain his senses, he suddenly rushed out of the house, hopped into the wagon, and hastily drove it around the house into the barn. I could hear him muttering under his breath as he slammed the barn door. His father takes his wagon with all of the gaudy peddler's signs, paints over the signs, takes his horses, sells everything off for cheap, tells his cringe-fail son that he's getting a real job right now, Painless is, after all, still 16. It's like when your teen comes home with green hair half shaved on the sides and an infected hand poke tattoo and says they're bisexual. Except the year is 1888, and he's like, "Father, behold my illustrious salesman attire." And his father's like, "No, what? This is a weird phase, son. Why can't you just be a Baptist minister like your mother and I want?" Painless does the only logical thing in this situation, and he runs away to sea. He leaves the next morning, goes to the docks, gets a job as a deckhand, and sails out that same day. His adventures at sea are not particularly relevant to the overall story of his life, but my god, being a Victorian deckhand sounds so hazardous. It's actually a miracle that this man, boy, child is alive. He gets stranded in so many foreign places due to injury or illness, and that's fine. He just hops on the next ship that'll employ him, and he just goes wherever, all over the world. The chaos of this lifestyle does suit him. However, it is cut short when he eventually suffers a spinal injury that leaves him paralyzed. He's told he will probably never walk again. He is delivered home to New Brunswick to his parents in this state. He finds that his mother has converted to the Christian Science religion, which believes in faith healing. He is subject to a lot of faith healing in the coming months, and he does eventually regain the ability to walk, although he is skeptical that it was the faith healing that did the job. Due to this injury, he is probably never going to be able to live the rugged life of a seaman ever again. So, he's got to find something else that is going to satisfy his desire for chaos and money at the same time. I was now 17 years old and starting to feel much like my former self. The question of what I was going to do with my life came up in a family council meeting that summer. This time, Father made no effort to persuade me to become a minister. I suggested to my parents that I might become a physician. I had taken envious notice of the physicians I had seen in hospitals in Buenos Aires, Barbados, and St. John. I told my parents that it seemed to me that all doctors did was stroll around in white coats with great dignity and look important. It didn't appear they had to work very hard. They just looked scholarly and mysterious and prescribed salts. It looked like a good life. I knew I could look mysterious and all-knowing too if I had one of those white coats. My mother put her foot down in disapproval. She said, "Your mother is a sincere believer in Christian Science, Edgar, and such. We don't believe in medicine. I will have no son of mine become a doctor of medicine." Uncle John pondered a moment, pulling at his magnificent whiskers. Then, as if struck by inspiration, his face lit up. He said, "Why don't you have him phrenologized?" "What on earth is that?" asked my mother, taken aback. "Is it painful?" "Oh no," Uncle John reassured her. "Phrenology is a science which requires learned men to interpret the mental faculties and affections located in distinct parts of the brain, as denoted by prominences on the skull. By feeling the bumps on Edgar's head, they can tell you what Edgar is good for, what he can do best, and in what occupation and profession he will go farthest. I recommend you take him to Professor Fowler and Wells, the famous phrenologists." And that is exactly what they do. The phrenologist declares that based on the shape of his skull, Edgar is meant to be a dentist. This seems like a good compromise to him. It seems like something that would come with a lot of the same perks as being a doctor. However, because it's not quite a doctor, his mother doesn't disapprove. He is subsequently enrolled in the New York College of Dentistry, though he needs some way to financially support himself while he's alone in New York City. Just as soon as he learns new dentistry techniques in class, he's a new undergrad student of dentistry. As soon as he learns new stuff, he immediately takes it to the streets, selling himself door to door as a dentist, just as he sold almanacs a year earlier. When I had learned to fill teeth, I carried a little dental hand drill and kit and made the rounds, filling, cleaning, and extracting teeth in the kitchens and living rooms of people's homes.
My
While other
God.
boys were out studying, I was out getting enough to eat via door-to-door dentistry. I'd put my foot in a door and give a spiel patterned on the one I gave as a peddler. If my sales pitch sold some dentistry, I'd start with the cook's teeth. If I didn't kill the cook, and I was lucky, I'd eventually wind up working on the teeth of the lady of the house. Before the college year was out, I had opened my own office on the second floor at 17th and Broadway in New York City. It was 1890, and I was 18 years old. I placed a sign outside the building entrance. It read Edgar Randolph Parker in large letters and had a picture of a tooth beside my name. He is immediately expelled from the New York College of Dentistry. How many times had I heard that dreadful word, expelled, before? For, being an undergrad student LARPing as a real dentist. Sure, maybe people in the dental scene in New York City know what he's been doing, but you know where they don't? Rural New Brunswick, where he grew up, so that's exactly where he goes and continues his life as a traveling dentist there that summer. This is a community that really hasn't seen many dentists. Sure, he was not a real dentist, but Most people doing dental work at the time weren't either, especially in rural areas. If you had a rotting tooth, which was pretty common at the time and could even kill you, it was probably getting yanked out at home or by your barber, or maybe if you were lucky, a medical doctor who came into town. A professional who specialized in teeth was a great rarity at the time. Over the summer, he saves up enough money to go back to dental school and get his degree, at a different school this time, obviously, and he vows that this time around, he won't get caught for practicing dentistry outside of school. He attends Philadelphia Dental College and Hospital of Oral Surgery, which is today the School of Dentistry at Temple University, which they have a big exhibit dedicated to Painless Parker. They love him now, but at the time, he fails to graduate. But our hero, he doesn't accept this, okay? He hears that he failed, that they're not gonna give him a dental degree, and he just says, I don't really feel like that's true, you know? Like, I know I did bad on my exams, but I think I passed, okay? I totally didn't fail. I held the dean in high esteem and felt I would receive a fair hearing from him. I, the 20-year-old kid from the backwoods of New Brunswick, only 5 feet 6 inches tall, small and dynamic, decided that I would confront the dean, an impressive 6 foot 3 inch man considered to be the greatest oral surgeon in the world. I found Dr. Garrison peacefully spading in his garden. I started out angrily but cautiously. With great restraint and emotion in my voice, I said, I'm surprised and disappointed not to graduate.
6'3". How's that short?
To which the dean quietly replied, you really didn't expect to, did you? I sarcastically shot back, one doesn't get fat on expectations. The dean responded softly and gently, you have missed some of my lectures, and that's inexcusable. Calming down somewhat, I went on to build my case. Doctor, let me tell you the story of my life. It's been an uphill struggle all the way. As a teenager, I went to sea, which is a tough life even for a grown man. I came back from one trip all crippled. It's lucky I can still walk. For years, I've been earning my own way, peddling goods from house to house. The dean lets him graduate out of pity. All right, I'll take a chance on you. As long as you agree to never disgrace this college. At the spry age of 20, Parker is finally ready to become the respectable, dignified dentist that college taught him to be. As a full-fledged doctor of dental surgery, I was supposed to live up and dress up to the title. To make me appear taller, I had purchased a braid-trimmed cutaway coat with striped trousers and a flowered vest. I wore a tall silk hat and a box overcoat with silk lapels. Some dude, eh? Passages that immediately make you Google the etymology of dude. Okay, dude is American slang for an individual, typically male, from the 1870s to 1960s. Dude primarily meant a male person who dressed in an extremely fashionable manner. Dude may have derived from the 18th century word doodle, as in Yankee Doodle Dandy. In the popular press of the 1880s and 1890s, dude was a new word for dandy, an extremely well-dressed
it's
male.
Short for doodle.
A man who assigned particular importance.
Dude is short for
appearance.
doodle.
This meaning of the word, though rarely consciously known today, remains occasionally in some American slang, as in the phrase, all duded up, for getting dressed in fancy clothes. Now, all duded up, Parker decides that he's going to start his first dental practice in his hometown of St. Martin's, New Brunswick. Like I said before, this is obviously an underserved community. He is providing that service. However, it's also a place where he's just less likely to get caught for not quite doing things right. It was taught to him in dental school that being a real professional meant following a certain code. Dentists were not allowed, it was improper to solicit customers for your dental practice. No advertising, no going door to door, nothing. The only way that you were to promote yourself as the new local dentist was by joining clubs and kind of putting yourself out there socially.
I don't know how
Now,
to
St.
do
Martin's
that.
is too small to really have any clubs. The only public gathering place where everyone in the town sees each other is church. I began to attend church twice each Sunday. I thought my regular family pew wasn't good enough, so I sat in the Moran pew. They're like some relatives of his mother, I think, because the Morans were considered to be the blue bloods of the town. Their pew was located in the front of the church. I wore my very best clothes and carried the biggest Bible ever taken into the Baptist church in St. Martin's. In fact, the Parker family Bible weighed in at 15 pounds. I must have presented the funniest looking sight imaginable. I was thin as a whip and only 5 feet 6 inches tall. The minister would stop speaking whenever I came into the church, dragging the huge family Bible under my arm. He would stare, dumbfounded at me. I volunteered for all of the chores in the church, including passing the collection plate, and sang the hymns louder than anyone else in the choir. I even assisted with the services and taught Sunday school. I did everything to make them think I was an ideal citizen in the community. You see, I was determined to be ethical at all costs. Oh yes. Just wait until he decides to dedicate that level of energy to being unethical. The whole being the weirdest guy in church thing, doesn't really work as a promotional strategy. He gets 0 customers, 0 money. He blames this on the lack of knowledge and education around dental care at the time. Everyone's kind of ignorant and afraid of dental care at the time because they think it's just getting your rotting teeth painfully yanked out by barbers. They just have the wrong idea of it. They're just ignorant, and they're just not ready for this entrepreneurial young dentist in town. But also, like, someone stole the sign, the, like, Edgar Parker dentist sign off of his building and put it on the outhouse of the local train station. So I think that's a pretty clear message that they also just fucking personally didn't like him. I don't think he gained their trust by being the weirdest guy in church. But that's just my interpretation. Sorry if I'm taking some liberties. He decided to go with the ignorance and fear explanation. So he thought to himself, if I can remove the pain and fear that people have for the dentistry process, then maybe, perhaps I can convince people to give me money for it. I recalled reading some scientific papers about a new drug which could kill pain. It was so simple that I was flabbergasted that nobody was using it. The drug was called cocaine, and it was used as a hypodermic injection into the gum tissue. I located the recently published paper on practical anesthetics by Dr. W.E. Walker. This paper presented the advantages of using local anesthetics and gave a formula for a reliable aqueous solution of cocaine for hypodermic use. I took the paper to my druggist friend, George Mallory, and asked him if he could make up a solution for me. We put the concoction brewed up by Mallory into a crude horse syringe and injected an amount recommended for a human into a dog called Toby to see if the dosage would kill him.
Still do that.
Toby didn't bark or bite and showed no ill effects, so we concluded that humans could survive too. I decided to call the cocaine mixture hydrocaine. I then injected a dose into Mallory's gums, and he injected some into mine. Other than a certain numbness in the gums, we suffered no ill effects. We went on to make incisions into our own gums, where we had injected the solution, and we couldn't feel any sensation. In true scientific fashion, we had acted as our own guinea pigs. I know this sounds insane, but self-experimentation actually was common and respected scientific practice at the time.
Sure, but
how is he going to get the word out about how he wants to inject the townspeople's gums with cocaine? One day, while sitting in his office, his empty office with no patients, he looks out the window and he sees a Salvation Army band marching down the street, and he thinks to himself, why is it all right for them to go marching down the street making a bunch of noise with a band to fundraise for a religious cause? Is religion not, after all, the most pure and noble cause there is? So why would it be wrong for me to want to go out there and spread the good word about cocaine? I mean, he voices this idea in casual conversation one day to his uncle, who passionately shuts it down, says, absolutely not. You cannot do such an absurd thing. You will be immediately ostracized by the entire institution of dentistry. Everyone will hate you and think you suck. But we know how our boy Painless feels about being put in a tiny conventional box. One day, while he's sitting in church, as he does so often these days, listening to the preacher go on and on about the fires of hell, terrifying the audience into submission, Parker can't help but be inspired. I decided to combine my dental skills with the knowledge of salesmanship and customer psychology I had gained as a traveling salesman. So I wrote a sermon about the horrifying bonfire awaiting laggards who neglected their teeth. I memorized and rehearsed the speech so I could talk for 25 minutes without stopping. I reasoned that if I could get a congregation to speak to, I could get some business. But he doesn't want to risk his reputation in St. Martin's right away, so he goes to the neighboring town to test this out. He promises his listeners that thanks to his new invention, hydrocaine, all tooth extractions are guaranteed to be painless. And if they're not painless, he'll pay you. That's right, he'll pay you $5 whole. He doesn't have $5, by the way. He's just saying this. Step right up and let me rip out your teeth here on this street corner. And if you feel it, I'll pay you. He's lying, but the rhetoric works. People do it. I took 33 teeth out of 12 patients and nobody screamed. Why? I'll never know. I had run out of hydrocaine on the 7th patient. What had made me, respectable Edgar Randolph Parker, doctor of dental surgery, take the fateful plunge and become a traveling advertising dentist? Perhaps it was the sour looks my father had given me for my lack of success and my hired hand appetite. Possibly it was the feeling that if a man of the cloth could sell the idea of hell with no actual hell to show the people, then I could sell the idea of care of the teeth. 90% of the time, a dentist is nothing more than a mechanic. When he pretends otherwise, he is hoodwinking his patients. Ethical dentists are especially interested in window dressing. They love elaborately furnished offices and fashionable medical buildings. These white-clad men of science preside like high priests over their ornate chambers. Parker argues that the dignity, the ethics, the respectability, all heavily air quoted, of the dental profession are ultimately keeping this service from the masses. The type of dentistry that he was taught to provide in school is sort of a luxury of the rich. If someone only has 25 cents in their pocket, are they going to risk living in pain and possibly dying from an infected tooth? Are they gonna take grandma out in the shed in the back with the rusty pliers? Or are they gonna go to some guy in a weird outfit who only failed dental school a little bit? He was filling a need that existed and meeting people where they were. Was he a great humanitarian for it? Also, no. His main motivation was always money and not the quality of his work. $1 put in the bank for fixing a poor man's teeth is just as good as $1 banked for fixing a rich man's teeth. And the quality of his work is said to be, you're not going to believe this, bad. But you know, probably a step up from what people were otherwise gonna get. Seeking more patience and of course adventure, he decides to team up with an old school friend of his named Jack, and they're gonna go west. You know how people in the 1800s love to go west. They have no money, but that's fine. They'll make it along the way. Parker's gonna do dentistry. His friend Jack is gonna sort of act as his hype man. It's gonna be great. Their destination, Montreal. So they get on the Canadian Pacific Railway. They stop in various small towns along the way doing the door-to-door dentistry thing, and they actually make a lot of money doing that. The problem is, they've got a talent for spending it as well. He tells this one story about how they had bought a ton of alcohol on one of their train stops, and then they get back on the train and they share the alcohol with their besties, the train crew, who then get so drunk that he and Jack have to drive the fucking train. I put out the lanterns and did the other necessary chores in the caboose, while Jack did the honors with the engine, more or less under the direction of the inebriated engineer. I expected that we would go off the tracks any moment. Eventually, the crew sobered up enough to take the train into Montreal station. We got to Montreal on Sunday, September 26th, and put up at the Windsor Hotel, one of the finest in the city. Jack and I lived like kings. Unfortunately for them, they learned that in Montreal, he's going to need a license to practice dentistry. Well, not just in Montreal, in the entire province of Quebec, actually. It's just that he's the most likely to be caught in a bigger city. And he doesn't have time to get a license. That would mean spending time there, passing a test. How dare they unfairly discriminate against an entrepreneurial traveling dentist such as himself? He's just a free thinker, okay? How dare they try and make him take a test to prove he's what? Competent? One dentist even told me you'd better get out of Montreal and find some other place where dentistry isn't so well organized. He's spent now all of his money on the most expensive hotel in the city, so he takes a train out to a smaller city and continues practicing unlicensed dentistry there. He gets caught after a few days and has to flee. And this is going to be the pattern of his life for the next little while, because guess what? Ontario requires a license to practice dentistry as well. So everywhere he goes, he makes a big scene advertising his dentistry services, and all the local dentists go, wait, who the heck is this guy? I don't think he has a license. And then the local sheriff, sometimes quite literally, chases him out of town. He learns that he can only stay in one place for about a day or two, so that nobody has time to catch on to what he's doing. After wandering all over Canada and the US doing this, at some point he parted ways with Jack as well. He winds up trying to settle in Victoria, British Columbia, where he opens an office. The stranger asked, "Are you Dr. Parker?" I politely answered, "Most assuredly, sir." He said that within a few hours he was going out on a sealing trip to the Bering Sea, and begged me to fix his teeth immediately before he went, as he was suffering such misery. The only humanitarian thing to do was to accommodate the stranger, and I set to work upon him. I couldn't find anything seriously wrong with the stranger's teeth and told him so. The stranger continued to insist pathetically that he was in a great deal of pain. Although I became a little suspicious, I carried on with treatment. I cleaned his teeth with a scaler, hoping that it would bring relief. The stranger got out of the chair all smiles, thanked me, and said the pain was gone. I was somewhat perplexed by that reaction. I felt that I hadn't really done very much, certainly nothing which could have relieved a pain as terrible as the stranger was complaining about. The seaman appeared grateful as he handed me a $5 bill. I took it and stuffed it in my pocket. Then, the stranger suddenly flashed a badge and told me I was under arrest. He told me with a certain amount of self-satisfaction that he was a spotter for the Dental Association and had been hired by a Dr. T.J. Jones to get me for practicing without a license. He stated that Dr. Jones was the secretary of the Dental Association. I had been set up again. Well, our hero is not going to tolerate that. So he goes and stands outside of the offices of this Dr. T.J. Jones and uses his amazing speaking skills to give this speech about what a dirty slanderer Jones is, trying to take down this new dentist, this innocent new young dentist in town. He says that he swayed public opinion to his side and that Jones and his hired goon never showed up in court to testify against him, so the case wound up being thrown out. He practices dentistry in his respectable office in Victoria for about a year, and this time he's actually successful. He gets patients, but he finds it boring. There's no unpredictability to it, and he needs a little bit of that in his life, so he eventually returns to his wandering and advertising ways. He meets all kinds of interesting figures who make an impression on him, salespeople and performers, and especially this one magician doctor type guy by the name of William True, who he teams up with for a while. The idea of combining sales and theatrics and medicine and sometimes even elements of the occult into these traveling shows was not new. Even before Parker's time in the mid-1800s, you could see laughing gas shows on the streets of New York City, or even in some of P.T. Barnum's own shows. You know how, like, the online health and wellness industry is a total shit show right now? You got people saying, well, my essential oils can cure cancer. My special raw vegan diet can cure your diabetes, and did you know that eating soy products feminizes the men? And everyone's selling something, and everyone's invented some new supplement that's gonna cure all of your ailments for the low, low price of $59.99 a month. Yeah, it was sort of in the spirit of that, except with more top hats. And instead of screaming at you from the phone, they were screaming at you on the street in real life, and sometimes the product was cocaine. So Parker briefly combines his dentistry show with the traveling medical show of this other guy, William True, and they have this magic medical dentistry nonsense show that they take all over the Victorian Wild West. However, they eventually part ways because True wants to retire to his ranch in Alberta, leaving Parker all alone to hit the road once again in fucking Alberta, of all places. I must have presented a sight as I started on my journey into the Canadian wilderness. I am certain that I cut a fine figure. Short, broad-shouldered, and darkly handsome. I wore my venerable, bullet-ridden top hat, frock coat, and striped trousers stuffed into high boots. My long brown hair hung in the back past my collar, below my heavy-browed glance, described by men as malevolent, by ladies as intimate or smoldering. I wore the Van Dyke mustache and beard that would distinguish me until the day of my death. My brightly painted red wagon stood out like fire among the trees. Lest anyone should fail to notice who was passing, on its sides were painted 2 large signs proclaiming, "Painless Parker, Doctor of Dental Surgery." Standing one day on my wagon in front of the livery stable in a small town of High River, Alberta, I blew my bugle until a good-sized crowd had gathered. "Ladies and gents," I bellowed out in frustration, "you see before you a poor, plain, honest, itinerant tooth hoister, hounded like a criminal by the ethical dentists to this godless wilderness. And what for? Because I dared to cut prices and advertise?" At that moment, a pistol shot from the back row lifted my top hat from my head. That was bullet hole number 3. "I'm Parson J.B. Towers," shouted the marksman, waving a huge shooting iron, "and I don't aim to hear this fair territory called godless by little runts in the pay of Satan." With that, the reverend gentleman let go again. "Naturally, sir," I exclaimed loudly, scrambling down onto the wagon seat and whipping up my horse. An inexcusable blunder on my part. After a full 2 years away from home, he returns to St. Martin's, New Brunswick, and decides that he's going to put on the biggest dental show that this town has ever seen. He hires a sword swallower, a bearded lady, exotic Eastern dancers, you know, all the hits of the Victorian circus. All of these performers would take the stage, he says, while I, the painless dentist, preached tooth care sermons from podiums lit by gas lamps. He takes his troupe on tours all over Eastern Canada and the United States, but after a couple of months, he's growing restless yet again. In the spring, at the tender age of 23, I took stock of my life. I was already a seasoned veteran of the road, but I was rapidly tiring of country tooth pulling, of visiting endless strings of villages and small towns, of open-air dental and medicine stage shows, of trying to keep one step ahead of the law, and above all, tired of the rubes. I needed a break. There is also the money thing, because he is good at making money, but he's also very bad at keeping it. The overhead expenses of my traveling snake oil and dentistry shows were excessive and frequently out of control. I checked my left pocket and found I was almost flat broke. My banking procedures at the time were simple but effective.
Listening
at
to
the end
this
of each day, I put
life
all of my
story of
earnings
this
into my right coat pocket and transferred what remained after expenses were paid to my left pocket. An empty left pocket indicated that a fiscal crisis was imminent. Around this time, he goes back to New York City to help out his father, who is now living there and has some crisis with a failing business of
Venus, yeah. Venus Barker.
It really does run in the family, Jesus. Parker gets a well-paying job as a dental assistant and is able to use that money to help support his parents, as well as to help put his younger brother through dental school. But sometimes he gets that urge, that itch. And on weekends, he'll take the train out to a small nearby town and, well, One summer, Parker decides to head back to the chaotic, unregulated land of New Brunswick to bring his dental shows to the summer circuit of country fairs. He gets himself a gaudy outfit and a gaudy band and a gaudy wagon, all his favorite things. During one show, he has a little bit of a disaster. He's trying to pull a tooth it's just particularly stuck, and the patient screams really loud and scares off all of his prospective customers. So he comes up with the idea of having his band play really, really loud to drown out any potential screams that might happen. After that, his shows went something like this. The musicians would assemble and perform on stage at posted times. Their colorful red and white striped coats, straw hats, and red pants, and their lively Dixieland music not only attracted patrons, but put the people in a festive, excited, and relaxed mood. One could almost feel the electricity as the band played on. At just the right moment, I would triumphantly emerge from the side of the stage, dressed in the finest top hat, silk shirt, and breeches, complete with vests and spats. Timing was critical. I casually draped a white lab coat over what I considered to be my resplendent frame. On stage, my gray eyes sparkled as I searched the crowd for suitable candidates for my performance. Once the crowd produced a victim, I would usher that person onto the stage and into a barber chair. Then, in a very showman-like way, I would conduct a quick oral examination. This would identify the prospective abscessed tooth or root tip for my so-called painless extraction.
I literally cannot
At just the proper moment, I would give a hand signal to the band, situated on both sides and behind the usually unwilling patient, which would strike up one of its loudest numbers. Deafened by the blaring music, the patient's countenance would change from fear to total bewilderment, shock, and numbness. But at least the patient wasn't screaming in fear. At just the precise moment, I would quickly snap my hand down and out from a little pouch hidden inside my sleeve and would pop my favorite extraction forceps. I would gracefully complete the performance by raising my other hand over the patient and then abruptly thump the patient on the chest with the palm of that empty hand. I did this for two reasons. It drove the wind out of the patient's lungs so they couldn't scream, and it forced them to open their mouth. At the same time, instantaneously and instinctively, my other hand holding the forceps drove into the victim's mouth and came out holding the offending tooth. Then I quickly hid the forceps from sight. I would then jauntily and victoriously parade around the stage, showing off the tooth in my hand. Any moaning sounds made by the patient at that time were effectively muffled by the loud music and the screams and cheers of the crowd. Despite what was advertised, Parker's patients did not always walk away satisfied. Many did not. Many complained of the pain and humiliation of being in his shows. When enough disgruntled patients would get together to confront him or get the law involved, he would just leave. He would just leave town. I would quietly fade into the fog. Next morning, my show and I were nowhere to be found. Under the veil of darkness, the painless dentist, widely known as Painless Parker, had moved on to another location. Soon, however, I ran out of towns I hadn't visited in New Brunswick. The persistence of local dentists and authorities forced me to leave, disappointed, discouraged, and betrayed by the profession which I was a member, because I simply wanted to help people obtain dental care. Tragically driven out of his home province, Parker returns to New York City. There he meets his wife, Frances. The two are enamored with each other, and they marry in secret behind her disapproving family's back. When he takes her back to New Brunswick to meet his parents, he just can't resist doing a little hotel room dentistry. Jesus Christ. He is immediately arrested for practicing without a license and fined $400 and goes to jail.
That's against the law, and you're gonna have to go to jail.
So that's quite a way to make an impression on your new wife. In our hero Painless's defense, New Brunswick hadn't previously required a license to practice. All the other stuff he got in trouble for in New Brunswick was not related to that. The license thing it's a new law that he didn't know about. A local dentist who hated him from before for, all the other stuff, decided, hearing that he was back in town, that this was a great opportunity to get him in trouble with the law for practicing without a license. When Painless gets out of jail, the first thing he does is rent the vacant lot across from this dentist's office. He hires a troupe of minstrels to put on, quote-unquote, a large and raucous show. He promises the crowd that if anyone has had unsatisfactory dental work done by the unsatisfactory dentist who works in this office, that if you just come over to his hotel room, he'll fix it for you. Around this time, he puts together a new performance troupe. He's got a fire eater, he's got some musicians, his wife is gonna play the piano, it's gonna be great. He buys them all tickets to California to start a new life. Once he gets there, okay, he even gets a California dental license. That's growth, okay? It's probably because he just had to pay for it and not pass any tests. But okay, it's some kind of growth. It's some kind of growth. But times are tough in California, and they don't really make much money. The performers end up abandoning him. He and his wife are forced to head back to Brooklyn to look for more lucrative jobs. Sitting on the train back to New York after this humbling failure, now expected to support not just himself, but his wife, he thinks he's done. He's done with this chaotic traveling lifestyle once and for all, with street dentistry, with always being broke and disrespected by the institutions of his profession. I thought silently to myself, I've got to try to learn to practice dentistry in a more conventional manner.
You think?
Once and for all, I'm gonna go straight. I'll do it for the rest of my life. He gets a good job in New York, but at this point, he's helping to support his parents, and he's paying for his brother to go to dental school, and there's no birth control, so the babies start coming out, and it's not enough money. And that's when he makes a strange friend in his landlord, a man named Bill Beebe, who used to be a manager for P.T. Barnum's circus. Beebe's like, whoa, okay, I love your whole thing. Okay, not this current thing. No. The thing from before, the whole like traveling circus dentist thing, that was kind of cool. We should do that, but profitable this time. Listen, man, I can show you the world if you hire me as your manager. You're ahead of your time, Doc, Beebe continued. One day, all the health professionals will be advertising. You're a pioneer for dentistry. You have a double opportunity. First, you can be a professional and do a great deal of good for mankind, bringing dentistry to the masses. Second, you can be in show business. You can entertain as you educate the patients. Few people are given such opportunities in life. So Painless and his wife sit down and they have a serious family discussion. They say, all right, okay, so we're 26. Birth control has not been invented yet. Do you think we should spend literally the last of our money on hiring a circus manager? Yeah, you know, actually, I think, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, let's do that. Shockingly.
That's true.
Shockingly, this turns out to be one of the best financial decisions they're gonna make, because Beebe makes it happen, okay? Advertising is his passion. Branding is his passion. He really latches on specifically to the whole Painless Parker brand and idea and just goes crazy with it. Your name is now Painless Parker. Got that? At this point, Beebe started to yell, Painless, Painless Parker. He deliberately and slowly spelled out each letter. In fact, I'm never gonna call you Edgar again. Your name is now Painless. Beebe was on a roll as he continued. Painless, there's more. You'd better sit down to hear the rest of what I've got to say. Last night I designed some signs to fit your new and improved image. You will now have signs on both sides of the building. One will read, I am positively it in painless dentistry. Yes, me, Painless Parker. The it part will be 10 feet tall. I want people to be able to read your sign from the Grand Army Plaza about a mile away. Soon the city is covered in Painless Parker billboards with this stylish new logo with his face superimposed on a tooth. Beebe puts on wild shows all over the city to promote the Painless Parker brand and to bring people to the main dentistry practice. They're doing the street shows as promotion, but they also have an established office. He says that Beebe writes a schedule for him every single morning and leaves it on his desk. This is where you gotta be and when. Painless has the charisma, Beebe has the organization skills. Winning duo. Beebe comes up with just crazy shit that even Parker would not have. One day Parker is just sitting, he's reading the newspaper and he reads an announcement that Painless Parker himself is going to publicly extract an infected tooth from a circus lion the next day. And he's like, Beebe, man, what the fuck? Are you trying to get me eaten? And Beebe's like, no, trust me, bro. Bro, trust me, just show up. The following night, shaking at the knees, I climbed into Leo's cage in the center of the ring. An expectant hush fell over the capacity crowd as I reached through the bars of the partition and inserted an enormous pair of forceps into Leo's wide-open mouth. Then, as the circus band burst forth with a triumphant blast, I gave a mighty pull, held aloft the forceps, the end of which firmly clasped what indeed looked like the lion's aching tooth. Of course, some skeptics in the crowd contended that the whole incident had been a cleverly executed hoax, and that Leo's tooth was, in reality, a plaster of Paris replica that had been surreptitiously inserted between the prongs of the forceps. To this day, I really don't know whether I did extract the lion's tooth or not, so I'm pretty sure that's his way of admitting that it was a hoax. I don't think he expects anyone to believe that. The business succeeds wildly, but Painless is only one person who can do so much. So they hire more dentists and staff and begin to open more and more Painless Parker dentistry locations. They sell Painless Parker brand products. The next decade is going to be an insane financial success for them. And might I just say, Painless was born to be an eccentric rich person. You know when rich people are just fucking boring and wear $2,000 beige sweatpants, and it's like, come on, man, if you're gonna have stupid money, at least do something weird with it. Painless delivers. He is always as weird and showy and gaudy as possible, and I like that about him. In 1904, I bought a Pope Toledo 4 gasoline-powered car. The 5-passenger automobile, which cost me about $3,500, was considered to be a very flashy number in its day, but it wasn't fancy enough for the new owner. I had every square inch of olive drab paint removed from its body and wheels and replaced by gold leaf. Likewise, the black upholstery was replaced with bright red leather. The vehicle was kept so brightly polished that when I drove it down the street, traffic would come to a complete stop as I chugged majestically past. He says that around this time he applies to join the Brooklyn Auto Club, which is where snooty rich people with snooty cars go and go ha-ha about each other's snooty cars. But of course, it's filled with all of these local doctors and professionals who reject him for being Painless Parker, and he's pretty bitter about this. These snooty ethicals discriminating against him and bullying him. Soon, advertising laws start to get stricter. Suddenly, you can't talk about prices anymore. He's no longer allowed to promote how much cheaper his services are than the competition. Living standards and sanitation begin to improve greatly, and some people start to suspect that making gaping holes in people's mouths on the side of the street might not be sanitary. I soon learned that I needed to have a lawyer at hand almost continually. In the 10 years I was in Brooklyn, I was sued for a total of $900,000. Generally, the suits ranged from $500 to $50,000. Naturally, I was framed. If there'd been anything to those suits, I'd still be paying them off. Most of these lawsuits never came to court. In fact, I suspect they had been started primarily to scare off my customers. However, my reputation appeared to be enhanced more as a result of all of the adverse publicity. Nevertheless, the more I was attacked by the ethicals, the more I felt obliged to put on my show of success. I wanted everyone to know that I was no mere mortal, that I was bigger than life itself. It gave me great pleasure to ostentatiously flash my 7.5 carat diamond ring on my right hand and my 4.25 carat diamond stud tie. I retaliated against the ethicals in my street messages, telling my audience that it was highly likely that their dentists were soaking them for $4.50 for the sweet essence of nothing. Beebe had made the Painless Parker brand a massive success and become Parker's best friend. Beebe had 3 rings made featuring the Painless Parker logo with the tooth and Painless's face on them. 2 of those rings he gifted to Painless and his wife, and the 3rd was for him. He literally said, "I am in this marriage." However, in 1902, Beebe suffered a sudden stroke and died. Painless was devastated, and this began a period of general depression and burnout for him, which eventually led to a mental breakdown so bad that he was diagnosed with imminent death. Though he did recover, he decided that it was time to retire at the age of 34 to California. I imagined myself as a gentleman farmer, a breeder of thoroughbred racehorses. Edgar Painless Parker, you would have done numbers on Wattpad. Another reason for moving to California, he says, is that it put distance between him and his family. His wife and kids went with him, of course, but the rest of his family and his wife's family, not a huge fan of him anymore. Remember how I said that he was paying for his younger brother to go to dental school? Yeah, well, his brother got indoctrinated by all those shitty ethicals in college, and now he's one of those. And you know who else became one of those? One of those dirty ethical dentists, his father of the 5 billion failed careers, also decided to go into dentistry. Once settled in California, however, Painless's retirement, shockingly, did not last long. In my unconscious, the conversation probably went as follows. The ethically respectable man would whisper into my ear, "It's insanity for you to think of starting a 3rd career at the age of 34. How can you do this to Frankie again? How will she be able to withstand the stress if you transgress the dental code again? You'll continue to be hounded by all those dentists." In my other ear, the showman hollered, "This is your great opportunity. You've been called to this type of life. If you don't get some excitement soon in your life, you'll shrivel up." He winds up buying a failing dental office in a supposed partnership with the elderly dentist who's already running it, who is this guy named Dr. Fram. I put on my bullet-ridden top hat, my tails, ascot tie, and wore all 12 carats worth of diamonds. I drove to Dr. Fram's office and told him, "Get your forceps limbered up, you're gonna need 'em. I'm going out on the streets to dig us up some worms." I grabbed a two-tone klaxon, a set of Swiss bells, and a small portable organ. That morning, I drove my beautiful red Peerless automobile down to Los Angeles and found the busiest intersection I could locate. The car had a big round sign on the side with my Painless Parker name painted on it. I short-circuited my Peerless so that it would backfire, then set off a string of firecrackers next to the car, cranked up the klaxon, and rang the bells. In 1906, automobiles were still considered a rarity, especially those painted bright red. People came running from every direction expecting to witness a spectacle of an expensive car about to self-destruct. In a matter of minutes, I was standing up on the seat in my automobile. Then, in what I considered to be my most booming voice, I began my famous lecture on the terrors of tooth neglect. Dr. Fram just stops showing up one day. He's just like, no, it's not worth it anymore. He just skedoodles. Painless scared him away. His relationship with his wife and kids is suffering extremely at this point too, because he's so obsessive with his work. He has a constant need for excitement. He really just doesn't pay attention to them or consider their needs ever. He begins to receive death threats, presumably from local dentists who hate him.
I'm just like
although they're not really signing their names on the death threats. It's
genuinely
presumably local dentists
I actually
to kill
can't get my
him,
brain
and
focused.
his
It's
family
really bad
are
today.
terrified. His wife has to hire a
can't do
chauffeur
it.
to take the kids to school every day because they're afraid of getting murdered, and they're all like,
We're gonna
"Painless,
finish listening to this.
Father Painless, please tone it the fuck down." He won't. He's not gonna. He just doesn't care. Twice, someone actually does show up to try and murder Painless, although he escapes, because both times they show up with a gun and they're like trying to shoot him while he's in his car and he drives away. They try and fabricate Painless Parker sex scandals. They're attacking each other in the newspapers constantly. By 1910, he is richer than he ever was in New York and has an even larger network of dental offices. Always ready to adopt new technology, he hires blimps and planes to fly around with Painless Parker logos. Film is a new
Who would
medium.
Painless
He
Parker
commissions
choose?
educational films about dental health and screens them in his office. But of course, Painless Parker, he's always going to have a soft spot for the classics. With the emerging movie industry
Same energy,
now
I
taking a
feel
toll
like.
on live entertainment, he finds one day that there's a circus up for sale for pretty cheap. I paid only
Circus for
$50 for the
sale.
entire operation. Think of it, boy. A genuine circus with lions, flying trapeze, sword swallowers, and a girly show. Marvelous.
Girly show.
Of course, the tent had holes in it. The lions had mange. It was the real stuff. The king of rube shows. The climax of my career. I was the ringmaster, boy. I immediately began to rejuvenate the circus and had a bandstand constructed which closely resembled a gaping set of upper and lower teeth. The red-coated musicians looked as if they were about to be chewed up by the supersized teeth. I called it Painless Parker's Dental Circus. And it staged performances in towns up and down the coast of California. He says that while other circuses continue to fail and diminish, his, with all this love and care put into it, actually does pretty well. This is
Would you
around
get your
the time
teeth
that
pulled
he
out of
says
dental
he extracted
circus?
the 357 teeth in one day and had the necklace made. But although it is fun, he knows that the circus is not a long-term amazing financial decision. And eventually, with the help of his wife's urging, he does sell it. Tells himself once again, this is it. I retire from
waste.
streets dentistry. I'm
He's a
going to
bajillionaire.
focus on my offices. Painless Parker, I'm going to get normaler. He lied. One afternoon, as I was walking down
Normaler?
San Francisco's Howard Street, I happened to observe a local sidewalk evangelist preaching to a small group of individuals. This self-made man of religion, calling himself the Cardinal, had devised his own religion and was seeking converts. I couldn't stand the painfully amateurish job this evangelist was doing. It was enough to turn a man's stomach. After taking all that I could, I laid my gloved hand on the evangelist's arm and said, "Brother, before hearing your golden words, I was charging ahead in life down this sidewalk, merely contented to seek worldly gain. Now, it's different. I've just received the call to speak to your little flock here, if you don't object." The evangelist was somewhat taken aback, but stepped down from his soapbox to allow me to ascend to the sidewalk pulpit. "Flock," I said. God hates a man who neglects his teeth. Even when they banned street dentistry in 1914, he continues to do his roadside sermons even if no teeth are actually getting pulled in the process. Then something that is particularly offensive to him happens. The California state legislature introduces a bill that would make it illegal for dentists to practice under any name besides their legal name. Now, this is obviously a jab at him specifically. There's no other famous dentists using pseudonyms at this time. He gets into a fist fight with a member of the California Dental Board about that, but
They really
doesn't
fucking hate
help
this
the
kid.
situation. So at the age of 43, he winds up legally changing his name from Edgar to Painless. Painless's California years / later career years are going to be characterized by constant legal battles. I began to experience a rash of malpractice lawsuits as if it's a medical condition. It's mysterious. It's like, oh, what is this? I'm breaking out in this rash. It's dental malpractice, I think. Fremont Older in 1917 helped me break into San Francisco society by helping me become a member of the prestigious Round Table, a group of distinguished businessmen and well-known visitors who met daily in a secluded corner of the Palm Court in the world-famous Palace Hotel. In these exclusive meetings, scions of business and society gathered to electrify and impress one another
until
with their
you
wit and
end up
wisdom.
in the ER and you're screaming. They're like, not so painless now, huh, idiot?
When that visitor was placed next to me, he immediately recognized me and vociferously demanded that he be seated elsewhere. He certainly wouldn't want to be seen associating with a mere quack dentist. Painless, boomed the guest dentist for all to hear. It was about the time that he pulled those teeth out of that drunk's upper palate in Bakersfield.
If you
told
fail
the
one more
crowd that
time,
it was
I'm
an
gonna rip your
example
teeth
of
out.
painless dentistry. The crowd laughed and awaited further details. Although I knew that I was guiltless of this charge, I felt that every eye in the group was suddenly upon me. How could I handle this situation? The dentist, now getting heated up, continued on the offense. You know, Painless, you really are risking your patients' lives by pulling patients' teeth on the streets. Although you may not know it, there are harmful microbes in the air. At this point, I got up and slunk away from the table as the guest dentist continued to enlarge upon the microbe theory. On my way back to the hotel, I got a sudden inspiration. I quickly went to a nearby costume and masquerade store and hired a man to dress up in a giant green bug costume. As I came back into the Palm Court, accompanied by the costumed microbe man, the table fell into astonished silence. I removed my coat and proceeded to wrestle the microbe, even though I had prepaid the microbe.
Don't wrestle me!
I lost the match in 2 falls. Head for the exit, I rolled while I was lying on my back after being pinned for the second time. That damn dentist was right all along. The net effect of the microbe fight was to establish me as a respected Round Table member for many years to come. Fellow members appreciated my good sense of humor and adventurous spirit and unique approach to life. Needless to say, the guest dentist was not invited back again. He also says that he opened, quote unquote, a mountain retreat for the rehabilitation of outcast dentists, people who had dentistry degrees but who couldn't find jobs for whatever reason. That was often substance abuse issues, you know, dipping into the cocaine on the job kind of thing. When these down-in-the-mouth dentists were in rehabilitation, I undertook to financially look after their families if they had families. I would pay for their rent, food, schooling, their children, and clothing. All I expected in return was for them to work in my Painless Parker clinics. This worked well for me, as they became my most devoted and loyal staff. He doesn't spend a ton of time describing this program, but as far as I can tell, they weren't, like, forced to work for him or anything. He just basically paid for them to go to rehab, paid for all of their living expenses and their family's living expenses, and then gave them a good job with a good salary. If I'm understanding this correctly, that was pretty cool, Painless. That was pretty cool. By the 1920s, public opinion has turned once and for all against street dentistry, and he stops simply because it is a bad business decision. At long last, Painless Parker is an indoor dentist. For real this time. He spends his days presiding over his many Painless Parker brand offices, figuring out ways to spend his obscene wealth on shiny things, ignoring his wife and kids who don't like him. In another obvious move against him personally, it is made illegal for a dentist to open more than 2 practices. However, it did not give them the power to shut down, take away the 26 Painless Parker offices that were in operation at the time.
26.
He just couldn't open any more, and he couldn't pass them on to someone else. So this basically guaranteed that the Painless Parker empire would have to be disbanded after he retired or died. By the 1930s, he wasn't even really the scandal that he used to be. The ethical dentists weren't even attacking him anymore, and he was upset by that. He missed that conflict in his life. I can't stand peace. There's something unnatural about it. You know what I did when the ethicals shot me full of peace? I began to feel my age. Those ethicals gave me a temporary case of age fever. When I got down on myself like this, I would characteristically dispatch inflammatory letters to various ethical dentists around the San Francisco area. And when I received inflammatory letters in return, it made my day. Painless Parker never officially retired, performing dentistry right up until his health failed him, just before he died at the age of 80 in 1952. How do we remember Painless Parker now that he's been dead for however many slutty years. Well, we know that many of the regulations governing dentistry today were made in direct reaction to him. It's like when you come across a weird rule, you're like, wow, that rule exists because some guy did something messed up. In the case of dentistry, it was the same guy every time. Oh my god, there's this guy. He's advertising super cheap prices to take advantage of poor people and then provide subpar work. Oh my god, and he's straight up lying about the services he provides. Yeah, he's performing medical procedures on the horseshit caked Victorian streets. Yeah, it's him again. I have another theory, also, by the way, about how Painless Parker may have shaped dentistry as we know it, because they were making all these laws to keep his crazy advertising practices in check, right? Once you strip away all of the stuff that is false or manipulative, you make that illegal. What you're left with is Parker's kind of advertising as education angle. He wanted to teach people about the sins of neglecting their teeth kind of thing. He says at one point, I believed that advertising was a form of education. You ever seen modern dentistry commercials? It's always some dentist going, did you know that electric toothbrush can clean your teeth 800 times better? And your tooth health is so important. Buy our thing. Did you know that there's bacteria in the crevices of your mouth, even if you think you brush well?
That's so true.
Mouthwash. Purchase it. Health. Some fans of Painless Parker, and it is tempting to be a fan of Painless Parker. In many ways, he is so enjoyable and whimsical. I liked reading about him a lot. So some fans of his, and I understand why it's tempting to be a fan of his, want to paint him as like a visionary ahead of his time. You know, he was all about dental education. He brought dentistry to the masses. He thought everybody deserved healthcare even if they didn't have money. You can make that argument if you want. There is evidence to support that argument, of course. But I think when you look at the full picture, the fact that he did not give a shit about the quality of his work, even the fact that in his personal life he treated his family so terribly, I think it's so clear that he was just a deeply selfish, money-obsessed, reputation-obsessed, overall unpleasant person. But we don't need to dwell too much on that. If you want to read the full autobiography yourself, this book, and I have no godforsaken idea why, it's not actually the complete autobiography of Painless Parker, it's the early adventures.
Who's talking? Well, it ain't me.
With Conic self-published, so presumably he had meant to publish a part 2 eventually, but maybe part 1 didn't do well and he didn't get the publishing deal for part 2, but then why not split the autobiography into 2 equal parts? Why just leave out the last 4 chapters? It's baffling. It's bonkling. I wanted to ask him so bad. I was literally planning to email this man, and I found out that he died last year. What is this about again? What do I make videos about? It's hard to say. It's hard to say sometimes.
Yeah, don't worry.
But I'll see you another one. Very
You
soon.
keeping it at the end of the Painless Parker saga. Literally. So there was like this Canadian dentist that basically ran a fucking, was like a street dentist and was also like a circus dentist, and the entire reason that dentistry has all the rules that it has today is because they kept being like, man, fuck this guy. He keeps fucking shit up. That was so interesting. Did you know? Your teeth are full of holes, but we can fill them. Anyways, gold chip time. We're gonna do gold chip and then I'm gonna go. Gold chip to the moon! Let me close my clip studio completely. This isn't art. It was. Now, well, yes it is. Uma Musume is art. What do you mean? Also, hi. Fluff. I once called you Rex, but you're not Rex. My bad. How you doing? Oh, I was doing okay. How are you doing, Fluff? Oh! God. Yeah, okay. Chip! Literally in my name. You're not Rex. You're not the Rex I usually call Rex. You're a different Rex. You're Rex 2. I have regular Rex and then Rex 2. Yeah. Can I buy anything? Shut up! Nothing beats a Rex 2 all the time. You're so fucked up for that, actually. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Gold ship failing, awful. Root goes down, all stats go down. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Numbers be going up. They just went down. Why is she doing end? Shipping and shipping. Huh? What did I do? Hey, we're training. Wow. I was gonna do pace with gold chip, but the last time I did pace with gold chip, fuck. So I guess I'll do end. I just don't trust her at end. I made it home. Welcome home, bro-kun. I'm almost done. Couldn't focus. Make sure you eat and stuff. And don't forget, nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. It's stuck in my head now. Is it Bokshin? Ominous statement broken. Fucking. I actually think Jet 2 takes priority over that. It was fighting in my head for a bit there, but I think Jet 2 actually does take priority. Fighting spirit! Let's race. Also, before I leave today, I'm gonna pitch this idea to my Saturday viewers, my catch-up viewers. I saw the container. So, why does fish look like that? Well, that's part of the idea I'm about to pitch to you. It actually reminded me. It's thermal vision. Spicy bulldog. That works too, I guess. So, as we all know, or I expect you all know, Metal Gear Solid Delta comes out at the end of August. And I plan on playing it day one. Hold on, let me focus for a minute. So my idea was I'm gonna try and set up my subathon that I said I was gonna do for 500. And in September, I'm gonna do my subathon and call it Sneak-tember Subathon. And it's gonna be all MGS. And I'm gonna have a timer. I'm gonna do a timer this time. But I don't know what any of the... What was Street Fighter 3? Yeah. Like I said, I think I wanted to do the, why did her mood go down? I wanted to do the games that, I started with as more of a debut celebration, stream thingy. But the 500 subathon I've been putting off for like, when did that happen? Forever ago. I don't even remember now. I mean, we can still play Street Fighter 3 just like casual. It doesn't have to be part of a subathon. But yeah, that was my idea, because I was like, I really want to play Delta and I really want to do the subathon thing, and it's a perfect time. I could just play it all month. Or something. I don't think my thing will last that long, but still. I'll play it until I beat it regardless. 40% off. Casual third strike. Oh. I can only afford this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy it. Is it on PC? I only remember having it on my PS3 question mark? What happened? I hope it runs well when it comes out. That's true. Gold ship? Okay. What the fuck is happening? What's happening? Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? I swear she fucks me every single time. Every time. Every time you fuck me. You fuck me. Why do you fuck me, Gold Ship? Okay, well, that's it. What the fuck? I mean, I know you failed a couple training. It shouldn't have been that bad though, dude. Did I fuck up my skill? I don't know, whatever. I'm going in the trash. I'll do my races. I'll just do my races and like... See, I can't get past... I can't get past D+. It's always D+. Look at them. Nice score though. This one. No, fuck this game. I hate this game. I never win. Why is she like this? Goo goo baby. Okay, never mind. I'll just do this off screen. This is not interesting to watch. Got another new title? Question mark. What's the other new title? Huh? Oh, oh, oh. Sure. Nice. No. Nice. Okay. Got a shirt that says I got that dog in me. Please show me. Oh, thank you. Broken. Why does that work? Okay. Sorry, today was kind of like a whatever day. Oh. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I have to make my schedule later. I'll make my schedule later. It's gonna be the same as before. I might start leaving out, oh, it's not gonna be the same as before, actually. You're drawing on a fish. Yeah, because I have to wait for Broken's schedule. We'll see. Anyways, have a great weekend. Thanks for watching whatever this was. I'll probably stop doing Saturdays just because... Well, my eyes. I don't know. It's hard. Life hard. Who can I raid? I think I want to spend Saturdays just solely working and not getting distracted. I get distracted way too easily and then my brain turns to mush. Mush. Let's wait. Let's read Kevin. What the hell, sure. That's not my, where'd I put it? Oh, okay. Wu Chang? I thought it was, oh, I thought this was Wukong. It's Wu Chang. My bad. Okay, let's go away, Kevin. Go tell him he's stinky. Okay, have a great weekend, guys. I'm gonna build all my IKEA stuff tomorrow and I'm gonna bleach my hair tonight, so I'll let y'all know how that goes. Have a great time, guys. I'll talk to you Monday. Maybe? I think it's Monday. I forgot. Anyways. See ya. See ya. Bye.